Yes, rolling in here by the skin of your teeth, huh? So you Lake Tahoe Yoga, you live right close to there too, right?
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm a 10, 15-minute bicycle ride and like a 7-minute car ride.
How was the car ride from there to here this morning?
Well, you know, the roads are cold, and so the snow froze, and it was a little slippery out there.
Yeah, you said it's pretty slick.
Yeah,
I kind of thought that this morning coming in. I'm like, this is that kind of snow where when they run the blade over it, it almost becomes slicker. I mean, you got to get that off, and then the sun.
Yeah, and it's that time of year, you know, like we have to adjust to driving in the snow.
Isn't that the truth, right?
Take our time and be careful.
Right, so. I do it every year. You're kind of like, okay, I know you got to go slow, and then you get out there and you're like, damn, it's really slick, you know? And then we get kind of our snow senses about us.
Yeah.
Hey, 10 years old. You guys, 10 years you've been around now.
Lake Tahoe Yoga. We opened as, I don't know if you remember this, Svadhyaya Yoga.
I do remember that. I remember I could never say it.
Yeah, so 2008 we opened.
What was it called again?
Svadhyaya. It's fun to say.
I bet it was hard to spell.
It means self-study. So, and that's why I opened
that I knew.
That's good stuff, right? Yeah. So 2018 will be our 10-year anniversary.
Dang.
So we've got a whole year of events, and I'm ramping up for those events and special deals. So the big thing is, in January we're doing like flashback pricing to 2008.
Oh boy.
So back in 2008, we were just talking, there was one other yoga studio, and then I opened.
I know.
And I would charge $10 to drop into my classes. And so we're going to do that again in January. $10 drop-ins and $45 for 5 class cards.
And how long were you doing yoga before you opened 10 years ago?
I started practicing in 2000. I got my first teacher certification in 2005.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Well, but it's just crazy because, I mean, you did it for so long and then eventually opened up. The business has been there for 10 years. But there's a lot of these new ones that just are popping up here and there. And
Yoga's really popular. It's definitely become more of like a business. It's become more of a product, and that's where Lake Tahoe Yoga, I think we differentiate ourselves. We're not about selling you yoga. We're about teaching you how to practice intelligently and incorporate it into the rest of your life.
Well, I don't know if you still do, but I remember and I was thinking about this the other day when I was doing my stretches. I've really gotten on a good pattern now, which I've needed to do for a long time.
That's the goal.
But I remember you guys were doing something like where it was like a beer or wine, like you made it where it was just this. That's not traditional yoga, but it's practical yoga to me.
So, and that's one thing that I'm really stressing and trying to educate people about. So, doing a yoga asana practice, that's the posing, right, and the breathing.
Okay.
And then having a glass of wine and conversation with your fellow practitioners afterward, that's totally acceptable in the yoga world. But drinking while you're doing your yoga poses is not yoga.
Right.
That's
or
not
smoking
okay.
a cigarette during yoga. I think that's not. You guys do a fact check on that, but I'm pretty sure about that.
Or even smoking pot and then practicing yoga. Like you're losing the authenticity of the practice.
Should I stop?
Yeah, you should. You know,
right.
It's not.
Stop which, yoga or the pot?
I mean, just do one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Look, okay, I got the go ahead.
You can't force enlightenment. You know, you can experience it in different realms, but then you have to allow it to happen.
And how big a part is the breathing of it? I mean, like,
huge.
Honestly, you know, like I've talked to you a bunch, but I had a little hip surgery in June, and I'm just, my whole body's better, and I'm stretching, and I'm working out harder, and I'm skiing, everything just feeling better. But the breathing part, I feel like I need a little education in that part of it.
I have a whole class on Tuesday nights. It's 30 minutes from 6:30 to 7 p.m. and it's breath work and then guided focus. And breathing and yoga go hand in hand. Without breath, without pranayama, there is no yoga, and that's written right in the Yoga Sutra.
I believe it.
Right in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. It's so important. Yeah.
So what's the go-to class right now that people are doing? The consistent, you know, this is the one.
I have two that are super popular. 10:30 on Mondays and Thursdays, I do a class that's called Sloth Sequence. And Sloth Sequence is like all slow-moving Hatha style poses. So we're coming into
Hatha style?
Hatha, yeah.
Oh, Hatha. I think it's Hatha style. Like, I'm like, all right. All these words you got.
I know. So they're like slow moving, but they're effortful. So we come into a pose, and the idea is to affect a certain part of your body, use breath to affect that part of your body, and be really aware of what's happening there. So that's number one most popular. And then number two is our basics breakdown, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30. And that's the like beginner but all level, and we just explore poses and have fun, and that starts with breath.
I bet that's great too. If you're just experienced, you can still come to that one and push yourself more and other people. That's
Yeah, and we've also had a lot of visitors, you know, coming into town. You're here for the weekend. We have an 8:30 a.m. class on Saturdays, and we call it Move Your Asana, and it's all music focused. So the teacher, she like picks different music to make you have more fun during class and just feel the energy. So,
awesome. Well,
yeah.
10 years, I can't believe it.
I know.
You been skiing yet?
No, I still need to fill up my pass.
Do you really? Yeah, okay.
I volunteer with SOS, so I have to make sure I have it before I get out there with that kid.
And a bunch of high pressure this week, so that's the time to get it done. Because nothing worse than like the big powder day.
I know.
It happens, and then you're in the line to get your pass. Going, why didn't I get this sooner?
I have been doing tons of lunges, tons of squats, all those poses to get ready. Because I got to get my knee down every turn. So I'm ready to go.
You're still.
I'm still
telemarketing.
I know.
Somebody's still out there telemarketing.
Hey, every day.
Janae from Lake Tahoe Yoga. We'll take a break and we come back, your 7-day forecast.